of horror, family. My name's Dana. I work in corporate insurance, the kind of job where every office looks the same and no one remembers your name unless you make a mistake. This happened last November. I'm still not sure if it really happened, or if I just lost time, or my mind. My office is on the 5th floor. I've been there for almost 2 years. Every morning I badge in, grab coffee, avoid small talk, and get through the day. Nothing ever changes, except that day. The elevator stopped on floor 6. That shouldn't have been possible. There is no 6th floor, at least. There wasn't before. I pressed the button for 5 again. Nothing. I waited. The doors opened. I should have stayed inside. But I stepped out. The hallway was quiet, carpeted, fluorescent lights humming, too loud. Everything looked mostly normal, but wrong in ways I couldn't name. The air smelled like static. The exit signs weren't lit. All the office doors were closed. Every number was 6, not 601, 602, just 6, over and over. I told myself maybe I hadn't noticed this floor before. Maybe it was under renovation. Maybe the elevator glitched. Then I saw my office. Exact same furniture. Same sticky note on the monitor. Same mug. Same everything. Except no one was there. No papers. No sound. Just a completely untouched version of my workspace. Frozen. And on my desk, a folder with my name printed in clean block letters. Inside, one sheet of paper, empty. I sat down. I don't know why. I just did. The chair was warm, like someone had just been sitting in it. I looked up. The glass panel in the office door showed the hallway, but it didn't reflect me. It reflected someone else, someone wearing my clothes, sitting where I sat, but they weren't moving, just staring. I turned around, nothing behind me. I looked back at the glass. The figure was still there. I stood. So did they. I waved. They didn't. They just watched. I left. I ran down the hallway, but it looped. Same layout, same door, same flickering light. Eventually, I made it back to the elevator. I pressed the button a dozen times before the doors opened. Back to the lobby. The receptionist didn't look up. No one noticed I'd been gone. Except when I got back to my real office, there was a new sticky note on my monitor. I didn't write it. It said, "You're not the original."
Hey family, my name's Marcus. This isn't a ghost story or a haunting. I wish it were. This is about a place I still don't fully believe was real, and a part of me I don't think came back. It happened last summer, after a minor car accident. Nothing serious, fender bender, whiplash, but my head was ringing, so they told me to go to the ER just to be safe. I checked in at County General around 2:40 in the afternoon. They sent me to a secondary waiting area, a small room, beige chairs, flickering vending machines, and a TV playing a loop of silent hospital PSAs. There were 2 other people in there, a teenage girl staring at the floor, and an older man reading a newspaper upside down. I waited, and waited, and waited. The fluorescent lights were loud, buzzing like static in my skull. Time got slippery. I checked my phone. No signal, no Wi-Fi. The TV glitched, froze, then reset to the same PSA every time, a nurse talking about stroke symptoms. But her eyes never blinked. I asked the receptionist when I'd be seen. She smiled too wide and said, "We'll call you when it's your time. Not your turn. Your time." The clock on the wall was stuck at 2:41. I checked my phone again. Battery drained to 1%, then died. That's when I realized no one had come in or out of the room in over an hour. Maybe more. The girl was still staring down. The man's newspaper was still upside down, still on the same page. I tried to leave. The door led to another hallway, but it wasn't the hospital anymore. It looked like an airport terminal, or maybe a hotel corridor, carpeted, too quiet. Every door said examination room, all locked. I turned back. The waiting room was gone, just more hallway. Eventually, I stopped trying. I sat down in one of the chairs. I don't know how long I was there. Days, minutes. Then someone called my name. Just a whisper, behind me. I turned around, and I was back in the hospital lobby. Receptionist said they never sent me to a second waiting area. Said I'd only been gone 15 minutes. But here's what's wrong. My voicemail was full, from numbers I didn't recognize, all dated 3 days after the accident. And every now and then, in quiet rooms, I still hear the buzz of those lights, and a voice from nowhere whispering, "We'll call you when it's your time."
Hello to the community. My name's Clara. This happened 2 years ago in the house I grew up in. I only talk about it now because I'm finally starting to think maybe I was right to be afraid. I moved back in with my parents after a divorce. They were kind about it, said it was temporary. I was grateful. I hadn't been home in almost a decade. The house was the same, almost too same. Same beige walls, same pictures in the hallway, same uneven floorboard outside the bathroom door. But there was one thing I didn't recognize. At the end of the hallway, a door. It was just there, plain white, no markings. But I didn't remember it being there growing up. I asked my parents. They laughed. "It's always been there," my mom said. "That's your father's storage closet." But I know it wasn't. When I was a kid, that wall was blank. I used to sit at the end of the hall and draw. There was nowhere for a door to be. Now it was just there, like it had always belonged. I let it go at first. I was tired, depressed, maybe I forgot. But sometimes I'd pass it at night and hear something on the other side. Breathing, not loud, not heavy, just patient. One night I pressed my ear to the door, nothing at first. Then, the sound of nails, soft and deliberate, scratching on the other side of the wood. I stepped back. Something whispered my name, not loud, not threatening, just curious. The next morning, I asked my dad if he was storing anything living in there. A pet? A generator? Something? He gave me this long look and said, "Clara, that door doesn't open, hasn't in years." I told him I heard something. He looked sad, like truly heartbroken, and said, "You used to say that when you were little." That night I dreamed about the door, but in the dream, it was open. The hallway behind it wasn't part of our house. It was endless. Dim yellow lights, wet carpet, no sound but the hum of electricity. A hallway that didn't go anywhere, just stretched forever. At the far end, someone was waiting for me. Someone who looked like me, but wasn't. I haven't opened the door. I don't think I ever will. But sometimes, I wake up standing in the hallway, hand on the doorknob, and I don't remember how I got there.
Hey, Anatomy of Horror family. I'm Leo. I'm not really sure how to start this because I don't know when it started, or if it ever really did. About a month ago, my phone stopped connecting to the internet. No big deal, I thought. Just a service outage. But then the Wi-Fi stopped working too. Not just at home, everywhere. Cafes, libraries, friends' houses, my phone, my laptop. Nothing would connect. I asked around and everyone acted like they didn't understand what I meant. They'd say things like, "Try restarting it," or "Must be your settings." But no one offered to help. No one showed me their phones. That's when I realized I hadn't seen anyone actually using the internet. Not visibly. No one scrolling, no one typing, no music playing. Just people sitting, watching, waiting. I figured maybe I needed to reset my modem, so I called customer service. The voice on the other end was weird, perfectly clear, but too fast, like it wasn't breathing. It just kept repeating the same phrase. You are connected. Everything is working as expected. No matter what I said, I started getting headaches, short-term memory gaps. I'd walk into a room and forget why I was there. Not in a casual way, but like the room had changed between steps. My apartment started feeling curated, like it was rearranged slightly, subtly, when I wasn't looking. One day I noticed my bathroom mirror was slightly wider than I remembered, just by a few centimeters, but it was enough. I tried leaving town, just got in my car and drove. Every gas station I stopped at was the same layout, same snacks, same employee, I think, just different name tags. And then I found myself back in my apartment. No memory of driving home. My car was still parked out front, engine still warm, but I never made that turn. I swear I didn't. Yesterday, my phone lit up. One notification, system update complete. I didn't trigger it. And now the Wi-Fi works again. Everything's back, perfectly normal. People smiling, scrolling, talking again, as if nothing ever happened. Except today I looked in the mirror, and the person looking back blinked before I did. So yeah, I think I was offline. Not just digitally, like really offline. Like pulled out of sync, and I don't know if I ever came fully back.
Hey, my name's Sophia, and I just don't know how to say it, but I think I saw myself. Not in a mirror, not a picture. I mean, I saw myself in the hallway of my apartment building. I'd just moved into this place a few weeks earlier. It's one of those cookie-cutter complexes. Long beige halls, gray carpets, hum of cheap ceiling lights. Quiet, clean, unremarkable. I picked it for that exact reason. I didn't want drama. I needed a reset. The first time it happened, I was walking back from the laundry room, just after midnight. I was tired, earbuds in, not really paying attention, until someone turned the corner at the far end. She was wearing a hoodie like mine. Same building, same walk. We got closer, and something started to feel wrong, like looking into a photo that had been taken a split second too early. She looked up, and it was me. Not similar, not kind of like me. It was me. I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't like seeing a twin. It felt deeper, like I was watching myself from the outside. She didn't stop, just glanced at me with this tired look. Not surprised, not angry, just disappointed. I didn't say anything, neither did she. She passed me, kept walking. I didn't sleep that night. I told myself I was just exhausted. Long week, weird lighting. Maybe some woman looked a little like me, that's all. But then it kept happening. I started catching glimpses, reflections that were off by just a fraction of a second. Doors left ajar when I knew I'd closed them. A jacket laid out on my bed that I hadn't worn in days. One morning I woke up and my toothbrush was wet, and I hadn't brushed my teeth yet. Then there were the calls, missed calls on my phone, from me. The contact name read, Adrienne, you. I didn't answer. I couldn't. But one night I got a voicemail. It was just breathing. Not heavy, just soft, slow, too slow. I asked my landlord if anyone else lived in the building with my name. He said no. I checked the mailbox outside. Mine was the only one with Adrienne T on the label. Still, I kept seeing her. She never got close again, just stood at a distance, at the bottom of the stairs, across the parking lot. Once, standing just outside the circle of light from the hallway bulb, watching. I tried leaving. I packed a bag, got in my car, and drove. No destination, just away. I stopped at a diner 2 towns over, ordered coffee, and tried to feel normal. Then the waitress asked how my shift had gone. I said, "What shift?" She blinked. "You just left here 20 minutes ago." I looked at the clock behind the counter. It had reset. Back in my car, my phone had a new voicemail. Same number, same contact, just 2 words. Too late. I drove home. I don't remember how. I just arrived. I walked inside, dropped my bag, and went straight to the bathroom. The mirror was fogged over. I hadn't taken a shower. I wiped the glass clean, and there she was. Not me. Her. Smiling. I wasn't. She was. I turned away, left the light on. I haven't looked in that mirror since. This morning, I woke up on the couch with no memory of falling asleep. There was a note on my kitchen counter. My handwriting, but not quite. It said, "You're doing better now." I don't know who's writing these. I don't know if she's trying to help me or replace me. But I do know one thing. I'm not the only one in this apartment anymore.